Hey, it's Greg at the Vinyl Arms, and what I want to do before anything else is I want to say a big, big thank you to Cristian Osorio, who has just set up an Iron Maiden 2026 tag. Wow, I love Iron Maiden. I've loved Iron Maiden since I was a kid, so to get the opportunity to talk about Iron Maiden, I can talk about Iron Maiden until the cows come home. So here we go. He set us 20 questions. And it's just been so nice looking through the collection and figuring out how I'm going to answer these questions and show off some goodies as well. Absolutely love this band. So here we go. How did you find out about Iron Maiden? Well, for me, in the UK, there was these cassettes and LPs back in the 80s called Now. And they were a collection of songs, sort of popular songs, at the time. And they had sort of a yearly release of like a double LP or a double cassette. And I used to have my mum and dad used to get me these as a Christmas present. And they got me one year in 1988, Now 12. And on that was the very band Iron Maiden, and a song, Can I Play With Madness? And that was it for me. I was hooked on hearing that song. I wanted to know more, and it's been, honestly, a lifelong journey following them since. Number 2, favourite instrumental. Well, on this album, they don't do many instrumentals, Iron Maiden, maybe 5, 6, 7, something like that. But on this album, there's a track called Lost for Words on Power Slave, and I just think it's absolutely genius. The galloping bass of Steve Harris leads the charge, and it's an absolute wonderful piece of music, which has no lyrics, hence the Lost for Words or Lost for Words. Favorite Iron Maiden lyric? Well, God, there's loads of them. I mean, I think the thing is about Iron Maiden is they're so good at sort of painting pictures. When you listen to the music, you can sort of visualize what Bruce or Blaze or Paul Di'Anno were singing about at the time. And they're so good at sort of being descriptive and drawing the listener into the sort of imaginary that's going on. But for me, one song that always gets stuck in my head, it's a really fun listen, is this one, Holy Smoke. Absolutely class song from a great album, No Prayer for the Dying. And there's loads of this is great. You got the lyrics on the back here on the picture disc, but there's just loads of great visuals in this song. But one I really like is there's a section where Bruce sings, "They ain't religious, but they ain't no fools. When Noah built his Cadillac, it was cool. 2 by 2, they're still going down, and the satellite circus just left town." Absolutely love that section there. And if you go back and listen to that song, the way Bruce's vocals go, 2 by 2, they're still going down. He really hits that high note on still going down. And I don't know, he's just such a great singer. A song you don't like, number 4. Nope, there isn't one. I'm fully on board with Iron Maiden. I couldn't pick a song I didn't like. Yeah, there's better songs and not as good songs, but they're all good. That's the thing about Iron Maiden, is it? The benchmark, the quality benchmark is so high, always has been, always will be. Absolutely love them. A deep track. So, Iron Maiden, they've had so many hit songs, so many sort of like anthemic type songs. But what's one of those songs that takes a little bit of digging, a little bit to get your head around, and the rewards are there in the long run? Well, for me, I think this album, Book of Souls, is a great piece of work. The songs are much longer, quite progressive in nature. But there's a song on here, a 13-minute song on here called The Red and the Black. And I just think it's absolutely wonderful. It's never going to be a hit because it's 30 minutes long, but you listen to that song a few times and by God, it's an absolute beautiful piece of work. What I also like about this album as a side note is just the packaging. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's one of these sort of triple fold out sleeves. I don't know if I can get all of that on the camera there, but really well presented. And then you get these inner sleeves. It's a triple vinyl, and you get these inner sleeves with all the lyrics on. So you can sort of, I love reading along with the lyrics as I'm listening to a record, and that's great, you know. Iron Maiden magazine. Well, just leading on from that Book of Souls, I was fortunate enough to see them in Leeds, and I picked up this absolutely wonderful tour brochure, which has loads of great pictures and info and what the band were doing at the time. And I love stuff like this. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Book of Souls live brochure from the tour. Where are we up to now then? How many times have you seen Iron Maiden live? I've seen them 4 times. I'd love to see them more. They tour again. I want to go see them. I've seen them twice in Leeds. I've got some ticket stubs here, actually. Well, first of all, I saw them on this tour, which is the Future Past tour in 2023 in Leeds. I got the T-shirt. I didn't get the tour ticket stub because they didn't release them. On that tour, everything was on your phone, sort of one of those hold your phone up against and when they take you in, and no concert ticket, which is a real shame. But the 3 previous times to that I saw them live, they did do concert tickets. This was also in Leeds with guests Shinedown at the Leeds Arena in 2017. That was promoting the Book of Souls tour. I've got a ticket here from the Motorpoint Arena in Sheffield in 2011. Which is nice. How much was the ticket in 2011? £37.50 to see Iron Maiden live. And this is probably my favourite ticket because it's got Eddie doing his thing on it, and it's the Somewhere Back in Time tour in 2008 at Twickenham Stadium. Look at that. Lovely. And how much was this out of interest? Has it got a price now? 50 quid, that one. 50 quid to go see Maiden in London. Bloody brilliant they were. 4 times, but hopefully I'd like to add a 5th in there at some point soon. When would you most like to have seen Iron Maiden live? Well, my favourite Iron Maiden album, they're all great, but if I had to pick one, The House is on Fire, you can pick one Iron Maiden record, it would be this. It would be Peace of Mind. I think it's just absolutely genius. And when would I like to go back in time to see Iron Maiden? Well, for me, I'd like to see them in 1983 promoting this album. Nico's come on board on the drums. It's an absolutely classic piece of recording. So many good songs, and yeah, I'd really, God, at the time in 1983, I'd have been 6, so a bit young to go to live music. I didn't even know they existed, but God, if I could time travel, I'd go back there like a rat up a gutter. 5 albums you'd like to take to the grave with you. Well, Peace of Mind would be one. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son would be another. Every song on that album is absolutely class. Iron Maiden, Where It All Began. Brilliant album. No Prayer for the Dying, one of my personal favourites. I love the sort of the rawness of that, very sort of underproduced, maybe, if you could, it feels sort of, very much sort of live, and I like that about it. It's a great record. And the ever classic Live After Death, I just think that is just a snapshot in time when Maiden were absolutely on form. What album would you recommend to a new listener? Well, again, I'd recommend my favourite album, Peace of Mind. I think it's a work of art from start to finish. I just think it's just class. And it's got 2 of my favourite tracks on in Flight of Icarus and The Trooper and Revelations. What a track that is. Number 11, an album you may have in different formats. Well, let me just put that one over there. Well, Live After Death. I've got it on a lovely double album gatefold, which is beautiful. I think, that comes with the inner sleeves as well. which are really nice with lyrics and band pictures and things on, which is absolutely stunningly well presented. Double vinyl. I've got Live After Death on CD. Again, a double CD. Tons of stuff on there. And if you want to watch Bruce and the gang live, then Live After Death on DVD as well, which is an absolute class listen. It really is. Absolutely love it. And it's also got, this DVD has also got a second disc, which has loads of great stuff. It's got a 57-minute documentary called Behind the Iron Curtain, which is well worth a look. And you've also got Rock in Rio in 1985. You've got 50 minutes of that performance too. So really bang for buck, value for money there on that bad boy. Right, where are we up to now then? Why give the Blaze years another chance? Well, I mean, that's never in question for me. I know Blaze Bayley only did 2 albums, and it was really sad that, you know, Bruce Dickinson left and went on to do his own thing, but all credit to that. And Bruce's solo albums are great as well, by the way. But I mean, I like Blaze Bayley's albums. I think once you get over the fact that it's a different voice, obviously, and a slightly sort of different, more sort of earthy approach to the way he delivers the songs, I think they're great. They're great albums. I've got these two, X Factor and Virtual 11. Now, for me, Virtual 11 is just brilliant. You know, songs like Future Real, Angel and the Gambler, When Two Worlds Collide, Don't Look the Eyes of the Stranger. I just think that from start to finish is great. You know, it's a really good album. So let's not look down on the Blaze years. Let's look on them with admiration. And 2 really great records came out of that process. Right, favorite B-side. Well, they've done tons, haven't they? And that's what I really like about following Iron Maiden. They don't just churn out B-sides of rubbish. You know, you get sort of live tracks, exclusive live tracks. You get a lot of cover versions. They've done tons of classic cover versions. But the one that I'm going to pick out is the B-side to this absolute monster of a song, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. Now, I might just take a sidestep here. This was released in 1992. I'd have been 15 at the time, and I was so proud because this when was it, 92? Let me just check that. No, 1990. Apologies. I'd have been 13 at the time, and this went to number 1. And I was so proud to sort of like a band like this when everything was pop related. And in the UK charts, the charts were massive in the 90s, and there was really sort of like popular bands, you know, at number 1 for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then my band, Iron Maiden, got to number 1 with a proper heavy metal song, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. And mate, I was 10 feet tall for weeks after that got to number 1. Lovely. But that's by the by. On the B-side, there's 2 cover versions. There's a cover version of Free, I'm the Mover, which is ace. But also on the B-side of this is a cover version of Led Zeppelin, Communication Breakdown, which is stunning, by the way. If you've not heard it, go check it out. Bloody brilliant. Song you play loud when driving around in your car. Well, this album, this doesn't get much love. I think A Matter of Life and Death is a great Iron Maiden album. When did this one come out? I want to say, 2006. And the opening track to this, Different World, it just kicks off the album with aplomb, and it really sets the tone for what's to follow. And yeah, there ain't a bad song on this. 10 tracks of proper Iron Maiden, you know, rocking it out. And it says on the sticker on the front, you know, to give you a flavour. I think this sums it up. Metal Hammer gave it 10 out of 10. Iron Maiden have utterly surpassed themselves. They've never sounded so bold or monstrously on top of their game. And I can't disagree with that. It's a great record. And honestly, that song, Different World, boom. You've moved into a new house. You're going to play an Iron Maiden song maxed up to 10. You know, what are you going to play? Well, it's got to be The Trooper, isn't it? You know, it's just an amazing song. And you know, I think that's just one of my favourite Iron Maiden tracks, and played loud, that bass and that drums and that galloping beat. It's just brilliant, so I'm going to crank that up to 10 and let the neighbours know I'm here. Favourite band member? Well, I mean, so much respect for Steve Harris for driving this thing along over the years. The guy's an absolute genius. He's also got limitless energy to keep this juggernaut going. So much respect for Steve Harris. But in fact, my favourite member of all time, it has to be Dave Murray. I mean, he was there from the start. He's been ever present, through the trials and tribulations and the band splits and this and that and the other. He's always been there. He comes across as a really nice guy, an absolute professional. And this is the guy here on the back of the No Prayer album. You can see Dave Murray here on here, and he's just great, isn't he? He can really make that guitar sing. Love him to bits. And one of my favourite songs by Iron Maiden, Still Life, on the Peace of Mind album. He wrote that with Steve Harris, shared sort of writing credentials of that song. So anybody who can write Still Life is an absolute genius in my book. You're on a long walk. What song are you going to listen to? It's got to be Die With Your Boots On, right? That'll keep me going. Football team, we all know Maiden. We're big West Ham United fans. You can see sort of on some of the albums, Somewhere in Time is a great example of that. If you look around on there, there's little clues and little nods to West Ham and the Hammers and what have you. Also, actually on this album as well, on the Virtual 11 album, there's some pictures in here of the band in the Hammers kit. I think it's in here. Let me just have a little check, or am I absolutely waffling? Oh, there they are, look. There they are with their West Ham Iron Maiden kits, which is ace. But who's my team? I'm a big York City fan, so I'm up in Yorkshire in England, and my local team is York City Football Club, and I've been watching York since, since 15, 16 years old. I've been going regularly. And right now, we're top of the league, of the National League. We're trying desperately to get back into League Two. And just maybe this might be the season we do it, fingers crossed. Tough league to get out of, a lot of good sides in there. We're doing really well support-wise. The ground holds 8,000. We're sort of getting 7,000 plus now at home games. There's not an empty seat in the house other than in the away end. It's... We're a team on the ascendancy, so long may that continue. What would you like to add to your collection? I've got loads of wants of Iron Maiden stuff, that I'm keeping an eye out for at record fairs and what have you. But there's three things that have eluded me or have priced me out, if truth be known. But one day, if I win the lottery or something drops, I'd like an original copy of the Soundhouse tapes. I'd like the original 12-inch poster bag of Virus, which was one of the Blaze Bayley recordings. You can only get that on 12-inch. It wasn't on an album. And I'd also really like the Eddie's Archive CD box, which looks gorgeous. I'd really like that too. I think it's got 6 CDs in it with loads of exclusive material. And why Iron Maiden after all these years? Well, I mean, I've liked Iron Maiden in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, and now I'm in my 40s. I'm still listening to them as much as I ever have done. They've, along with sort of David Bowie, they've been one of those bands who have provided a soundtrack to my life. And quite frankly, I'd be absolutely lost without them. They're solid, heavy metal. They do what they do. They don't cheat, they don't try and be the next in thing. They've never followed fashion. They just do what they do, and they do it well. And for that reason, I'm proud to be an Iron Maiden fan. And long may the band continue. So that's it. I'm done. I've done it in 20 minutes. Thank you, Cristian, for setting this up. and thanks for watching. Bye bye.